As always, first and foremost, I thank the 5,500 people that came because the roads were a little sloppy last night. Tough place to get to. The more that come, though, tough place to play. And kudos to our guys. I love our guys. And I've loved them after losses, by the way, so this is just not a victory love affair. 5 games this year, we've trailed by over a dozen in the first half. And each time it's been the same scenario. Now the finish may not have been the same. The scenario has been the same. And that's not coaching. That's core values. That's what at least I call basketball character. Different guy, different nights. You've heard me say that before. And the MVP of the day certainly is Turbo, our trainer, because he found Jordan Naughton's contact at halftime. Thank God. Or he probably wasn't going back in the game. Poorest shooting performance by Adams, but I would dare anybody that watched the game to say he wasn't the hardest playing player on the floor at both ends, because he was. And that's why I love him. And last but not least, the only thing I put on the board, to be honest with you, was a team that shot 71% at the foul line, won by 2, and the team that shot 57% at the foul line lost by 2. Because that usually doesn't get printed, that usually doesn't get talked about, that doesn't usually make SportsCenter. That wins and loses games.
Larry, you're down by 17 midway through the first half, and what do you do? I mean, I'm sure there's not, is there magic words? I mean, do you just tell them to keep grinding? What did you say, and what turned it around in your mind to get back in?
Well, it was a combination of things. Fortunately, they went cold. If you look at how they got the lead, if I'm not mistaken, Jones hits a 3, hello. Zimmerman hits a 3, hello again. And Morgan hits a 3. Like, you don't plan on that. And maybe they didn't plan on that. So, yes, it's a matter of grinding. It's a matter of an inner belief. And I've told you guys, that's what I worried about all June and July when we said bye-bye to those 6. Would we get flooded certain nights? And that's really the guys we have, and maybe the assistant coaches. That has little to do with decision-making by me. Again, that's core values.
How important was that starting out of the gate in the second half to not start slow again?
I think that was very important, and the pace of the game the second half was incredible for us. I mean, you know me, 57, I'll have a couple glasses of wine tonight when somebody scores 57 points against us. But the pace had a lot to do with that. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, our first 4 or 5 fouls were when we shot quickly and they got a fast break. And if they didn't get those, not that we couldn't shoot quickly once in a while, but if they didn't get those, I thought the pace was terrific.
How about Naughton? You mentioned Turbo finding the contact, but he's going against Zimmerman, a highly touted kid.
Yeah.
Gives you the points, but the rebounds and the toughness and even John with him a little bit. I mean, that was a big step for him.
I thought it was a leap, and he set some dunks at practice, but I've never seen him go over somebody. Who did he go over? I don't even know, but that's good.
Carter.
So, let's not get that excited. He could get shut out next game, but there's a good example of what this team's personality has been. If I'm not mistaken, Barnes and him did not even play, not 1 minute Wednesday. And here we got to rely on them for some pretty big defensive and offensive efforts. So, satisfying victory, but like I told Ryan a couple days ago, this was a must-win. The last one was a must-win. The next one's a must-win.
I know earlier you mentioned that you guys play some of your best basketball against your toughest opponents in your schedule. So what do you think that's about?
I couldn't answer it. I wish if I had the answer, I'd go down and I'd sell it at Walmart and make a buck, because sometimes there are no answers. You just don't know. I'm most pleasantly surprised with how we've reacted to adversity. I think this new club could have fallen on hard times several nights. And finishing has not been one of our strengths, or we'd have one heck of a record, because we've been in 13 games decided in the last 3 minutes. But this one finished pretty good for the good guys.
Talked about Gorski, after that Denver game, he separated the shoulder and was kind of slow coming back and struggling. But, Air Force, he was good. He was good for you again tonight. Does it seem like he says he feels 100% back? Do you feel like you've got him back, and how big could that be?
I thought it was really big. I tell you what, I was I can think of 2 plays. He came down and he made a poor turnover. He dribbled and he made a poor turnover in the heart of the game. And the best thing he did was go back down on the other end and grab a steal and get back a possession for us on a good defensive play. And that's what I mean by trying to keep your chin up, grind, let the game come to you. He made some big shots for us in the second half.
Overall, Josh, you guys haven't won unless Josh has scored 19 points. You had 12 tonight. You guys had 3 other guys in double figures. It's not even like just one guy stepping up on this night. It's the whole team stepping up when he's not having his best shooting performance. What does that say about your team?
You just probably said it well. It says a lot about our team. It says a lot about Josh. Like, when you're a star and you don't have a good night, like, you still have to shower with those guys and visit with those guys and have an inner arrogance about you. And what I love about him, that's why I told you I would never trade him, is he's a hard-playing dude, man. And even on his worst shooting performance, he found ways to affect winning.
How about his defense on McCaw?
Terrific. And some other guys stepped up. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Las Vegas made 3 baskets the last 11 and a half minutes. It's pretty good D. Even when we played good D in the past, that's pretty good D.
Go back on the road now with 2 straight, but as you said, the next game is the must-win. But you feel good about going back on the road with these guys, getting 2 at home, like this. Do you feel good about going back on the road?
I think learning is still. I go back to that. That's what we talked about. That's what we said we need to do. Let's not focus on results. Let's focus on the process, learning. These guys have learned. I mean, we nearly got crushed at San Diego State and didn't. We nearly stole one from Nevada, who's undefeated at home, and didn't. And then they learned a little bit, and the basketball gods were on our side, fortunately, down the home stretch.